Hey, what is up, guys? It's Brennan here, and today we're going to be taking a look at Wave Payroll, which is a payroll software option for small businesses. Now, of course, I have covered Wave in depth on the channel before, covering their accounting solutions as well as their invoicing software, but today we're going to be focusing just on the Wave Payroll software, which is a paid optional add-on within the Wave software suite. Because as many of you do know, or even if you don't, a lot of Wave products are actually available for free, such as their accounting software does have a free version included in the starter plan. Same thing with their invoicing and the ability to even manage your cash flow, customers, and accept online payments, which I have covered extensively on the channel before. I will leave links down below in the video description to those videos as well if you are interested in learning more, maybe about accounting or invoicing as well. But again, in today's video, we're just going to be focusing on their payroll software, which is an optional add-on. As you can see here, you will need it as an optional add-on to either the starter plan or the pro plan with Wave. And again, this pricing is always subject to change, so make sure to check out the pricing page to get the most realistic and up-to-date pricing. But currently, as of today, it is the optional add-on from $20 per month on either starter or pro plan. So that's sort of how the pricing breaks down. It is an optional add-on that you can add to your Wave account. So that's what we're going to be diving into here in today's video. And if you are interested in signing up for a free Wave account, even just to check them out for maybe some of the other software offerings that they offer, then you can go ahead and check out that first link down below in the video description. That's brennanvalesky.com/Wave. It will take you right over to Wave, or you can get started if you do want to follow along in this video. I'm going to be going through the walkthrough of the payroll software, what it sort of looks like, what the sign-up process looks like, as well as giving you a good general overview of how their payroll software works and who it is available to as well. Before we even dive into the software, I do want to also mention that it is currently only available in certain regions. So if you are in the United States, you're in luck, or if you're in Canada, you're in luck. If you're in other regions, you may need to look elsewhere for payroll software, at least at the moment. Wave currently only offers certain regions within the United States. That also means even certain states are limited currently within Wave if you do want full tax payments and filing within the payroll software. So that includes Arizona, California, Florida, Georgia, Illinois, Indiana, Minnesota, New York, North Carolina, Tennessee, Texas, Virginia, Washington State, and Wisconsin. Again, coming soon to more states. So those are currently the states that it is available for, again, filing the state and federal payroll taxes for businesses. That is so that you can automatically complete everything that you may need to be doing. Again, this is for if you have those 1099 contractors, or even if you have those W-2 employees. I would say it's a lot more important for W-2 employees for the tax filings and filing the actual payroll taxes. That's really crucial for if you have a W-2 employee and making sure that that is taken care of. You can also generate the 1099 forms as well, which is a nice other benefit if you are going to be paying independent contractors. Again, it's really having payroll software is fairly essential for full, regular employees as well. Even if you are even just paying yourself as well, it might be for your team or even just paying yourself out as a W-2 employee. You can do that through the Wave payroll software as well. So I just want to make that clear as well in terms of what states that the full service option is available within. Now, again, you are also available to do that in Canada too. But one other thing worth mentioning as well, if you are going to be doing a self-service state, that is all other 36 states outside of the ones that I've already mentioned here. And it is a bit cheaper if you are in those other states because it is self-service for the tax service side of things. So they don't include that in the software. You do have to do that yourself, which is, you have to pay and file the paperwork for yourself. Now, Wave can show you what information, how much money you'll need, but that's just an extra step that you're going to have to consider that you wouldn't have if you were doing the tax service within the state. So maybe that might be a decisioning factor there between either deciding to continue with Wave Payroll or maybe if you want to look at other software as well. Now, in terms of the actual cost, of course, that is the $40 monthly base fee, and they charge $6 per active employee and $6 per independent contractor paid. So again, it just depends on how your breakdown is. They charge the same for either of those. And then it's a $20 base fee plus the $6 per active employee or independent contractor. So same thing there on the self-service states. It is just that $20 base fee versus the $40 base fee as well. And so that is how the overall breakdown works. Now within Canada, it's a bit different. They just charge, again, this isn't Canadian dollars. So if you're in Canada, cool. They charge similar rates. Again, I'm not as familiar with how taxes work in Canada because I am in the United States. So, in terms of what these T4, T4A, read this information yourself if you want to get the details. As far as if you're in Canada, again, it's available in all provinces and territories except Quebec. So cool. If you're Canadian, good. You have options there. If you're United States, you have quite a bit of options as well. Again, I'm in the US. I know a lot of primarily my audience is in the US as well, but I figured I would mention the Canadian option as well for some of you guys who are in other countries as well, or, this is just limited to US and Canada currently. So in terms of getting started with the payroll software and what that looks like, first things first, you're going to want to, of course, click the blue button, get started now. Go ahead and sign up for your Wave account. Again, if you would like to, you can go ahead and use that first link down below in the video description. That's brandonvalesky.com/Wave. It'll take you over to Wave again, some of which of the links in the video description are affiliate links, which is a great way to help out and support the channel. So once you go ahead and get signed up, then you will be brought to the Wave dashboard. Now, maybe you're already using Wave for their accounting or for their invoicing or accepting payments in your business. So the way that it works is essentially Payroll is just over here on the left-hand side, and it is essentially just an add-on to your Wave account. Again, it is an optional add-on. So we're going to go ahead and click Payroll, and we're going to go ahead and click on Run Payroll. Now, we're not actually going to be running a full payroll setup. This is just to show you sort of what it looks like as a general overview video to give you a better idea if maybe the Wave payroll might be something worth looking into for you. So what you're going to do is, and it is honestly a pretty simple, streamlined setup, is that they have the option where you can complete your team, your business details, and create a pay schedule to preview your first payroll run. So you have your team options here, so you can enter in employees. So this includes part-time, full-time, salaried, or hourly employees. You have the contractors, so you can add independent contractors and pay them directly and generate those 1099 tax forms. You also have your business information. So this includes things like if you're an LLC, a sole proprietor, a corporation, an S Corp, C Corp, depending on your tax status and what your business detail looks like. You also have the pay schedule, how often. So maybe it's the 15th and the 30th, or maybe bi-weekly or weekly, or we'll get into that in a moment. You also have the legal representation as to who represents that, your bank account that you're going to be using to fund the payroll, as well as automating some things too here, so you can authorize Wave to easily pay your team from the funding account. And you also have options too for workers' compensation and things like that as well. If you do want to get insurance, they do also offer that as an exploration hub. So in terms of the payroll, so we're going to go ahead and click Add Employees. So this is where you would go in and add in the employee details. So, this is where you would get in the first name, last name, home address, date of birth, social security, all those types of things. These are required so that you make sure that you are actually paying a legal person that can receive checks, and actually is legal to work. So it's important that you put in all this information. You have the date of hire, work location, wage type, wage amount, direct deposit. We're not going to be going in and entering all this information here. You can also set up vacation policies too within here too. But that is what it looks like when you're going to go in and add employees. You have all the basic employee information, all the typical things that the HR side of things usually takes care of for you. At any sort of company, that sort of role, right? You're going to be going in and adding in the employee details, right? So we're going to go back to the dashboard under running payroll. So that's what the employee details section looks like. Then if you want to add a contractor, we can go ahead and click Add Contractor. So a contractor is essentially the same as a vendor. So in terms of your bookkeeping, so it will automatically log things like that inside the accounting side of Wave as well, which is cool because it's all just within one software. So as you can see here, you can set up the vendor as a regular vendor. This would be maybe an internet company or something like that that you're paying. In this case, because you want to issue a 1099 form, you're going to want to select 1099 NEC contractor, and then this will generate those forms for you under that vendor. This is if you have like a freelancer working for you, and you need to set them on a regular pay schedule or something like that, or if maybe you need to enter things in, you could do that through this by adding them in as a vendor. It's a little bit different than a traditional W-2 employee. Again, a traditional W-2 employee, you're going to require a lot more information from them versus just adding a contractor. Paying a contractor is a lot simpler in terms of the overall paperwork side of things. Within adding in your payroll software. So as you can see here, next we have the business details. So you can go in and add your business details. This will generate your you want to make sure that you have your EIN information for your IRS document. So go ahead and get that. You can contact the IRS if you don't have that document. They have the phone number listed there, and you can add in your business details. Like I said before, this would be an S corp, a C corp, LLC types of things that you're going to add in your business details. And then under pay schedule, this is how often you're going to be running payroll. So inside their payroll software, you can select between every week, every other week, twice a month, once a month, or a certain amount of days. So the default payday is 0 days after payroll period ends. So this would be the payroll frequency. You can do like I said, weekly, bi-weekly, twice a month. It is a little bit different, or once a month. Typically probably twice a month is probably good. It just depends on how you want to set things up. You're probably going to want to go with either every other week or twice a month, just to kind of budget things out better. But that's up to you. You have all 4 of these different options here within Wave. Going back to the payroll menu, so that's under the pay schedule and what you have available there to you. And then next, we also have the company signatory. So this is just a person who will represent your company legally. So this is just like information such as their job title, address, date of birth, social security number, essentially, kind of similar to what you would add under an employee, but just make sure that information is there. Now, we're not going to be showing you, of course, adding a bank account. That's going to be connecting things so that you have your ACH transfers. So this would be, a routing number, account number. That's what you're going to be adding here for your funding account. And then you're going to authorize the direct deposit use so that it will automatically do things from that account. I would highly advise, using some sort of business bank account, or at least just some sort of separate account from, especially if you're maybe running things a lot as a sole proprietor. Maybe if you just have a personal bank account you run your business through, highly advise setting this up as an actual separate business bank account. If you want to do things properly, that's the best way to go about doing things. Maybe open it under your LLC for your business, and then have that separate funding account is the account you want to use for your payroll setup, so that you can make sure things are accounted for separately, and so you can have extra money even in the account for running payroll as well. That's an important step just as terms of running or managing a business, obviously. Now, in terms of other options, they do also have things like workers' comp. Now, they do this through a third-party company called Next. That is their partnership here. We're not going to be covering too much about that, but just to give you a general overview, it's not supported in certain states such as North Dakota, Ohio, Washington, or Wyoming. But it is related to, medical or rehabilitation costs related to injuries caused while on the job. Maybe if someone trips and falls and sprains their ankle. I've heard of a case like that before on a rug that was misplaced. So things like that can happen depending on the industry and depending on the business that you're in. So they do have workers' comp insurance partnership available, so you can manage it through Wave as well. So that's sort of what they do also have available in payroll. In addition to the employee section, we also have timesheets. Now, all this will populate as well as you kind of complete the overall payroll setup. You enter in all your personal details. You'll also have the ability to log, worked, holiday, vacation hours as well to see, putting in the actual hours that are worked. You can log things. You can also put in for, again, like I said, holiday or vacation. You can customize that too. You also have your payroll transactions that you can monitor from within the dashboard. Again, as you can see here, the direct deposit is free with Wave Payroll. So that is a nice feature. You're just going to be paying, again, for that add-on cost. From that $20 add-on cost to your payroll setup, as far as when it starts, when it ends, and then the withdrawal date, and then the actual pay date for your payroll setup. That's what that looks like there. And then in terms of taxes, you also have the ability to manage your payroll taxes. That will be calculated and added in here. And then you also have the tax forms section. Again, that will be reviewed and generated that you can create here. And that information will then be safely stored within Wave, which, this is the same dashboard that you can use for your accounting, for bookkeeping, accounting, as well as even receipt tracking or invoicing. Again, I do have separate videos covering the invoicing and accounting section. So if you do want to check those out, I will leave links down below in the video description as well to those other videos if you're interested in learning more about Wave's other software within their overall Wave dashboard. So again, that's pretty much the gist of the Wave payroll setup. It's a pretty easy setup in terms of what they have available to you. And it's really pretty cost effective compared to a lot of other payroll softwares out there. I do like how it is directly integrated within Wave, so you don't have to use any other third-party companies aside from the extra insurance, but that's sort of a whole separate product within itself anyway. But within their payroll setup, it is directly integrated within Wave. Now, I get that maybe if you're not in the US or Canada, maybe you have to look elsewhere, or if you do want the full tax service, if you're not in the states that are listed, maybe you also have to look elsewhere. But if you are within those states, it can be a pretty good cost-effective solution for managing payroll within your business and getting those breakdowns, whether it be for employees or contractors as well. It is a good option, again, as a payroll software that's pretty cost-effective in the marketplace. So again, guys, I hope you found this Wave payroll software video helpful. Again, sort of a brief tutorial, more just like an overview of what's available and what is offered within Wave payroll and who it's currently available to. Again, if you do want to sign up for Wave payroll or even just get a free account with Wave and maybe you want to check out some of the other stuff they have available, you can go ahead and check out that first link down below in the video description where you can sign up for Wave for free today at brennanvalesky.com/Wave. Again, that is that first link down below in the video description. If you guys found this video helpful or enjoyed it, then be sure to smash that like button, hit the subscribe button as well, and notification bell so you're notified whenever I upload a new video. But anyway, guys, that's all for today's video, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.